Hello, beta. Good evening, everyone. Today we are going to go ahead and take the topic drain of wealth. This is a very important topic, beta, from exam point of view.
Hello, beta. Good evening, everyone. Today we are
Let
going
us
to
go ahead and take the first question for the day. Who is credited with formulating the drain of wealth theory? Option A, Dadabhai Naoroji. Option B, Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Option C, Gopal Krishna Gokhale. Option D, Mahatma Gandhi. Try to do this question, beta. Try to answer it in the poll window. Who is related with drain of wealth? ठीक है, तो बेटा पहले समझ लेते हैं ड्रेन ऑफ वेल्थ. ड्रेन ऑफ वेल्थ का क्या मतलब है? ड्रेन ऑफ वेल्थ मींस मूवमेंट ऑफ वेल्थ. कहां जा रहा है ये वेल्थ? दिस वेल्थ was going from India to Britain. It was going from India to Britain. और क्या हो रहा था इससे? When it was going from India to Britain, it was leading to decrease in economic development of India. It was leading to economic impoverishment. माने वो इंडिया को और वर्स ऑफ कर रहा था बेटा. The drain of wealth was lowering the wealth of India. समझ रहे हो? So this is the concept of drain of wealth. And who gave this concept of drain of wealth? All of you are correct. It was given by Dadabhai Naoroji. That is the correct answer, beta. So answer is A. Dadabhai Naoroji, an Indian nationalist and economic thinker. So Dadabhai Naoroji, he was also an economist. He formulated the concept of drain of wealth. उन्होंने बताया कि drain of wealth क्या है. ठीक है. अच्छा, सपोज इफ आई आस्क यू, थोड़ा सा डिटेल में करेंगे बेटा इसको, कि व्हाट आर द रीजंस फॉर ड्रेन ऑफ वेल्थ? व्हाई ड्रेन ऑफ वेल्थ टुक प्लेस? क्यों हुआ? तो ऑफ कोर्स फर्स्ट रीजन इज फॉरेन गवर्नेंस. भाई इंडिया वाज रूल्ड बाय ब्रिटिशर्स. नाउ इफ इंडिया वाज रूल्ड बाय ब्रिटिशर तो ऑफ कोर्स ड्रेन ऑफ वेल्थ तो होना ही था. ब्रिटिशर्स विल डू व्हाट दे फील इज द बेस्ट. ठीक है. द सेकेंड रीजन वाज burden of expansion. अब ब्रिटिशर्स को क्या करना था? उनको अपने किंगडम को एक्सपैंड करना था. ब्रिटिशर्स हैड टू एक्सपैंड देयर किंगडम, एंड in order to expand their kingdom, Britishers went ahead and they used the resources of India. इंडिया को पहले हम सोने की चिड़िया बोलते थे, but Britishers used the resources of India for their expansion. ठीक है. But the third reason was financing British एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. तो ब्रिटिश का जो भी सिविल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन था, जो भी ब्रिटिशर्स के खर्चे थे, चाहे उनका हमें पॉलिटिशियंस को रन करना है, आर्मी को रन करना है, वट एवर एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव एक्सपेंसेस वर देयर, दे वर ऑल्सो टेकन फ्रॉम इंडिया. इंडिया के पैसों से उसको वो रन कर रहे थे. सो दिस वॉज बीइंग डन बाय इंडिया. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट वॉज बेटा ट्रेड विद इंडिया. अब ये अपने आप में दिस इज अ लेक्चर इन इटसेल्फ दैट वी हैव डन, दैट ब्रिटिशर्स वर गोइंग अहेड एंड दे वर एक्सपोर्टिंग रॉ मटेरियल फ्रॉम इंडिया. इंडिया से वो रॉ मटेरियल ले रहे थे एंड दे वर सेलिंग द फिनिश्ड गुड्स टू इंडिया. तो जब वो इंडिया को फिनिश्ड गुड्स सेल कर रहे थे, व्हेन दे वर सेलिंग फिनिश्ड गुड्स बैक टू इंडिया, इससे क्या हो रहा था बेटा? इंडिया वॉज बाइंग एक्सपेंसिव थिंग क्योंकि वो फिनिश्ड गुड है, इंडिया वॉज सेलिंग चीप गुड क्योंकि वो रॉ मटेरियल सेल कर रही थी, एंड इन दिस प्रोसेस इंडिया वॉज लूजिंग मनी। तो ये कुछ रीजंस हैं ड्रेन ऑफ वेल्थ के, राइट? सो ऑल ऑफ यू आर करेक्ट, द करेक्ट आंसर ऑफ दिस इज ए, दादा भाई नौरोजी। ठीक है बेटा, क्वेश्चन नंबर 2, ट्राई टू डू दिस वन। In which book Dadabhai Naoroji extensively discussed the drain of wealth theory? Poverty and un-British rule in India, Indian poverty, economic history of India, British rule in India. Try to answer question number 2. Try to answer question number 2. What do you think will be the right answer to this question? So, A, some are saying C. Okay, A. ठीक है, that is the correct answer beta. The answer to this question is answer number A, poverty and un-British rule in India. So Dadabhai Naoroji discussed drain of wealth theory in his book Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. ठीक है, अब इसमें दादा भाई नौरोजी ने इस बुक में क्या बताया? He basically said that there is a direct connection between Britishers and impoverished India. उन्होंने बोला कि इंडिया की जो भी हालत है अभी, whatever India is today, whatever money has gone from India, right, that is directly related to British rule. इनके बीच में एक direct relationship है, right? And this is what he further discussed as drain of wealth. इसी को आगे उन्होंने drain of wealth में discuss किया, right? So yes, the answer is correct. Answer will be poverty and un-British rule in India. ठीक है बेटा, let us go to the next question. Next question. According to Dadabhai Naoroji, what was the primary cause of India's poverty? Low agricultural productivity, frequent famines, heavy taxation, continuous economic drain from India to Britain. Try to answer this question. What was the primary cause of India's poverty? किस रीजन से पॉवर्टी इंडिया में थी? वेरी गुड, गुड बेटा, ठीक है. So all of you are answering the question correctly. Yes, the correct answer to this question will be answer number D. दादा भाई नौरोजी के हिसाब से पॉवर्टी का जो रीजन था इंडिया में, दैट वाज ड्रेन ऑफ वेल्थ. ठीक है, अच्छा कुछ और बातें हैं बेटा इंपॉर्टेंट विच आई वांट टू हाईलाइट, एंड दे विल बी इंपॉर्टेंट क्योंकि हम उनके बारे में बात कर ही रहे हैं. सो दादा भाई नारोजी, बेटा ही वाज द फर्स्ट पर्सन टू एस्टिमेट नेशनल इनकम इन 1876. पहले इंसान जिन्होंने नेशनल इनकम इंडिया की एस्टिमेट की वो दादा भाई नौरोजी थे. ठीक है, He was also called as, अगर आपके एग्जाम में कभी पूछ लें, he was also called as grand old man of India. उनको ग्रैंड ओल्ड मैन भी कहा जाता था. दिस इज एन इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग दैट यू हैव टू रिमेम्बर. ठीक है. अच्छा, अदर देन दिस, बट नेशनल इनकम को कैलकुलेट करने के लिए उन्होंने कैसे कैलकुलेट की? समवन आस्क्स यू हाउ ही कैलकुलेटेड द नेशनल इनकम ऑफ इंडिया. तो फर्स्ट ही एस्टिमेटेड वैल्यू ऑफ एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोडक्शन. सबसे पहले उन्होंने देखा कि एग्रीकल्चर में कितना प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है. देन ही एडेड द नॉन एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोडक्शन टू इट. पहले उन्होंने एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोडक्शन निकाला और उसी में उन्होंने नॉन एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोडक्शन को ऐड किया. राइट. So these are some things that you have to go ahead and you have to remember related to Dadabhai Naoroji. Okay. Next question on your screen, beta. So Dadabhai Naoroji argued that primary cause of India's poverty was economic drain without adequate compensation. Okay. Next question on your screen. Try to do this question. Which of the following was not a component of drain of wealth? Salary of British official working in India, profit made by British companies in India, revenue from export to Indian goods, investment by British capital. इनमें से कौन सा drain of wealth नहीं है? Which is not an example of drain of wealth? You have to answer that. Which of the following is not an example of drain of wealth? तो बेटा drain of wealth क्या है? जब इंडिया का पैसा ब्रिटिशर्स को जाए, when Indian money is going to Britisher, then that is drain of wealth. है ना. अब क्वेश्चन है कि कौन सा drain of wealth नहीं है. So salary of British official working in India, माने इंडिया में जो ब्रिटिशर्स वर्क कर रहे हैं उनको we are paying salary. So money is going from India to Britishers. Money is going from India to Britisher. So this is drain of wealth. नेक्स्ट देखो बेटा, प्रॉफिट मेड बाय ब्रिटिश कंपनीज इन इंडिया. तो इंडिया में है, दे आर सेलिंग गुड्स टू इंडिया, दे आर मेकिंग प्रॉफिट फ्रॉम इंडिया. ही ऑल्सो गिव जेल कॉस्ट ऑफ लिविंग. यस, दैट इज करेक्ट बेटा. ठीक है, लेट मी जस्ट टॉक अबाउट दैट ऑल्सो इन सम टाइम. ठीक है. सो द सेकेंड पॉइंट इज ऑल्सो करेक्ट. राइट. सो यहाँ पे भी मनी इज गोइंग फ्रॉम ब्रिटिशर्स, फ्रॉम इंडिया टू ब्रिटिशर्स. नेक्स्ट देखो पॉइंट बेटा, रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम एक्सपोर्ट ऑफ इंडियन गुड्स यूज्ड फॉर ब्रिटिश डेवलपमेंट. जो गुड्स उन्होंने इंडिया से ब्रिटिश में भेजे, ब्रिटेन में भेजे, रॉ मटेरियल, वहां से जो रेवेन्यू अर्न किया वो भी उन्होंने अपने लिए यूज कर लिया. दिस इज डेफिनेटली ड्रेन ऑफ वेल्थ. Only this is not drain of wealth. Investment by British capital in the Indian industry. So all of your correct answer will be D. British investment in Indian industry is not considered drain of wealth. Drain includes salary, profit, export revenue, but not capital investment. So, good Anushka, as you mentioned, let's talk something about jail cost of living also. Yes, beta, this is correct. This was also introduced by Dadabhai Naoroji. ये भी दादाभाई नौरोजी ने ही दिया था जेल कॉस्ट ऑफ लिविंग. एंड इसमें उन्होंने क्यों दिया था ये? दिस वाज अ कॉन्सेप्ट व्हिच वाज यूज्ड टू एस्टिमेट द पॉवर्टी लाइन. इससे उन्होंने पॉवर्टी लाइन को एस्टिमेट किया कि व्हाट इज द पॉवर्टी लाइन ऑफ इंडिया. ठीक है. और इसमें वो कैसे एस्टिमेट कर रहे थे? सो बेसिकली व्हाट ही डिड इज दैट ही यूज्ड प्रिजनर्स फूड मेन्यू. कि एक प्रिजनर को, क्योंकि you know at that time a lot of nationalists, a lot of freedom fighters, they were living in prison. एक prisoner का whatever the food menu is, he tried to find out the cost of that using the prevailing prices. at existing prices, right? And in doing that, right, इस चीज को निकाल के कि ये फूड मेन्यू का कितना प्राइस होगा, he went ahead and he found out the poverty line, right? So yes, he gave the poverty line concept. Poverty line का concept भी उन्होंने discuss किया था, and the concept of jail cost of living, that was also given by Dadat Bhai Naoroji, right? Okay. When did he gave the concept of jail cost of living? It is mentioned in his same book, Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. So we can say it is in the late 19th century, but I think the year exactly is not mentioned in that book, right? So it is in the late 19th century that this concept was introduced in the same book, The Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. Okay. You can please check that the prices that he had used, the base year price was 1867-68, right? The base, that's correct. But we are not interested in only knowing when the book was published. We are interested in knowing, because it is a poverty line, so you need to know the year, right? So the when we say the poverty line, he said it ranges from 16 to 35 per capita per year, based on this prices, based on this year price, right? Okay. Let's go to the next year. Next question. Which year did Dadabhai Naoroji present the drain of wealth theory in his famous speech? 1853, 1886, 1892, 1905. किस साल में उन्होंने इस ड्रेन ऑफ वेल्थ थ्योरी के बारे में बात किया? You need to tell this. Try to answer it in the poll window. Okay. So now, but first of all, the question is not asking that which year the book was published, right? The question is asking that in which year he gave it in his famous speech at British Parliament. In which year he gave it in his famous speech in the British Parliament. So now, जब ऐसा क्वेश्चन आता है, it can be tricky because you may write the year of the book, but you don't have to mention the year of the book, right? So सबसे पहले, the drain of wealth, first time, Dadabhai Naoroji, he wrote a paper, and that paper was England debt to India. सबसे पहले उन्होंने एक पेपर लिखा. The paper name was England's debt to India. ठीक है? That paper he had written in 1867. Right? So if I would have asked you that in which year he first propounded the drain of wealth theory, or in which paper he first mentioned the drain of wealth theory, so that is going to be 1867, England's debt to India. Okay. If I ask you that in which year he published the book, साल थोड़ा समझो, in which year he published the book Poverty and Un-British Rule in India, right? Then you will go ahead and you will mention the year 1907, 1901, sorry, right? तो क्वेश्चन क्या है, उस पर बहुत ज्यादा फोकस करना है हमें. ड्रेन ऑफ वेल्थ को उन्होंने अपनी बुक में तो बोला है, but he has also spoke about it in his paper, right? He has also gone ahead and he has also given a famous speech on drain of wealth. So we have to focus on what the question is saying. तो बुक का याद रखो that the book Poverty and Un-British Rule in India was in 1901. The paper England's Debt to India was in 1867. ठीक है. And his famous speech was in 1892 when he became member of the British Parliament. Okay. So the first time he talked about drain of wealth, वो 1867 में था. If someone asks you when is the first time he talked about drain of wealth, ठीक है? Okay, next question on your screen, beta. Try to do this one. Which of the following factor contributed to drain of wealth according to India's nationalist? Try to answer this question. Try to answer this question. India's surplus trade balance with Britain, export of Indian capital to India, to Britain, increasing agricultural productivity in India, investment in Indian infrastructure. According to the drain of wealth, which is the factor which contributed to it? Correct. Good, good. That will be B. तो बेसिकली हमने अभी रीजंस डिस्कस करे हैं. एक्सपोर्ट ऑफ इंडियन कैपिटल टू इंडिया, टू ब्रिटेन, जब इंडिया का पैसा ब्रिटेन में जा रहा था, दैट वाज द रीजन फॉर ड्रेन ऑफ वेल्थ. अच्छा, फ्रॉम हियर it reminds me one more question. So if I ask you, who was first, try to answer this in the comment, beta, Indian MP in the UK? Who was the first Indian MP in UK? What do you think is the answer to this question? The answer to this question is also Dadabhai Naoroji. He was the first Indian to be elected in the parliament in Britain. Okay, in the parliament in Britain. The first Indian MP, Dadabhai Naoroji. So please, beta, dhyan se, whatever is important related to a person, you should know. That is why you will notice that now we have started putting all the contribution of different people. Yesterday, we had discussed contributions of Marshall. Today, we have discussed all contributions of Adam Smith. जब भी हम किसी के भी बारे में पढ़े, हमें उनसे related सारे contributions पता होने चाहिए. Right? So try to revise everything related to that person. Okay, next question. What did the drain of wealth theory highlight about the British rule in India? The British were investing heavily in Indian infrastructure. India's wealth was being utilized for India's development. India's wealth was transferred to Britain without any return. British rule had minimal economic impact in India. Try to answer this question. Exactly. So drain of wealth का तो मतलब we have done already, that money is going from India to Britain without any return of benefit. Correct. So the correct answer to this question is C. Exactly. Okay. Now, better let me ask you one more thing. Suppose the question is, who was the father of Bombay municipality? Father of Bombay municipality. तो वो आंसर भी is going to be father of Bombay municipality. It is going to be Firoz Shah Mehta. It's going to be Firoz Shah Mehta. ठीक है. Again, there are some things जो आप just in the passing अगर अभी सुन के if you can keep it in mind, it is good. I know it is difficult to remember everything, but just keep this in mind. He drafted the Bombay Municipal Act 1872. ठीक है. कभी कभी पूछ लेते हैं who was the father of Bombay municipality. Okay. ठीक है. Let's go on to the next question now. Yes, Indian economics starting is actually known because of Dadabhai Naoroji. That's correct. Which of the following colonial practice contributed most to the drain of wealth? ठीक है. High import tariff, use of Indian revenue to finance wars, establishment of cotton mills, large scale farming. तो drain of wealth का maximum contributor क्या था? Highest contributor. Try to answer this, beta. Highest contributor of drain of wealth. Okay. Okay. Most of you are saying B. So the correct answer to this question is in fact B. Indian revenue was often used to finance British war outside India, contributing significantly to, yes, I know, more of history paper. That is what is difficult in Indian economy. You have to kind of deep delve into Indian economy rather than talking about economics. That is correct. Okay. Yes, so the correct answer is in fact B. Okay. अच्छा ठीक है. So there is another thing I want to focus here. So remember, beta, I talked about a paper called England's Debt to India. And I told you that this paper was written by Dadabhai Naoroji. Now, sometimes what they will do in exam is that they will not give you the option of Dadabhai Naoroji in the paper. तो हम क्या करें? अगर हमें match the following में आ गया तो. So basically, this was a paper which was jointly written by Dadabhai Naoroji and Lala Lajpat Rai. So you need to remember both the names, right? Remember both the names for match the following. Okay. Another thing here, that Lala Lajpat Rai, he also published a book by this name, England's Debt to India. and that was published in 1917, in which he criticized Britain's fiscal policy in India. Right. So he also published a book. उनकी book जो है वो publish हुई थी 1917 में, and उसमें उन्होंने ब्रिटेन की fiscal policy को वो किया था, क्रिटिसाइज किया था कि ब्रिटेन ने इंडिया को पॉवर्टी में छोड़ दिया है और इंडिया से सारे रिसोर्सेज को एक्सट्रैक्ट कर लिया है. राइट. ओके. नाउ because we are talking about drain of wealth, there were some prominent leaders who were against the theory of drain of wealth. बेटा, जो इसमें बिलीव नहीं करते थे, they did not believe in drain of wealth. और उसमें एक प्रोमिनेंट नाम आपको याद रखना है, सर सैयद अहमद खान. There were many people who criticized, जैसे एमजी राणे, आरसी दत्त, भोलोनाथ चंद्रा. These nationalists, they criticized the imperialist for drain of wealth from India. ठीक है. So you have to remember these two things. Which leader did not believe in the drain of wealth? अगर कोई आपसे पूछे कि कौन drain of wealth में believe नहीं करता था, you have to remember that also, right? And which leader criticized the imperialist for drain of wealth from India? You have to remember that also. These leaders, they criticized the imperialist for drain of wealth. This person did not believe in drain of wealth. दोनों ही चीजें हमें याद रखनी है. Okay. Next question. What was the estimated annual amount of wealth drained from India to Britain according to Dadabhai Naoroji? Try to answer this question. What is the estimated amount of drain of wealth? Okay. So yes, most of your correct answer will be B. This is what was annually drained from India, right? Now, he also estimated some other things, that approximately 6% of India's national income was drained. Approximately 6% of India's national income was drained. ठीक है. बेटा ये जो वैल्यू है, this has been claimed differently by different people. बहुत लोग estimate कर सकते हैं ना, जैसे हम लोग जीडीपी की ग्रोथ को अलग अलग लोग अलग अलग मेथड से एस्टिमेट कर सकते हैं. So this value is different for different people, right? For example, we had this value estimated by William Digley, this value estimated by various scholars, like we had this estimated by Verelist. ठीक है. बट हमें अभी के लिए सिर्फ दादा भाई नौरोजी का अमाउंट याद रखना है. ओके. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Which of the following best describes drain of wealth on impact of on India's structure? Try to answer this question. It led to rapid industrialization in India. It caused underdevelopment and stagnation. It boosted India's agricultural export. It increased India's infrastructural investment. Try to answer this. बेटा here if the option, एक चीज मैं मेंशन करूंगी, if the option was 12 million was given, then that's the exact amount he had mentioned. But since 12 is not given, तो हम approximately 10 को highlight कर रहे हैं, ठीक है? In his book, he said it is approximately 12 million per year, $12 million per year. Okay, try to answer this one. Absolutely, that is the correct answer. So B, drain of wealth contributed to underdevelopment and stagnation of Indian industry as wealth was taken out without corresponding reinvestment in the industrial or economic development. That's the correct answer to this question. Correct, beta. Okay. So these were some questions on drain of wealth. Just try to revise this topic. Try to read about दादा भाई नौरोजी, ठीक है, क्योंकि वो एक प्रोमिनेंट पर्सन है जिसके ऊपर कोई क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. Okay, we'll take another session, beta, in which we will take one more topic of Indian economy in the next lecture. Thank you.